I add a sadistic twist to an old classic in today's episode of Dev Diary, the series where I try to make my own video games. Our classic game of choice for this lovely project is a simple memory match game. In this case, for the sake of simplicity, it is a 2-player game, and the board generated is a 4x4 comprised of 2 pairs per number. And it behaves exactly as all memory match games do. Player chooses 2 tiles, and when the second tile is chosen, we check for a match. If 2 tiles are a match, points are awarded and they can choose again. Or the tiles are hidden and it's the next player's turn. Repeat until board is cleared, to which it is then reset with a new layout, and the process repeats until, I don't know, old age kicks in. Actually, it's likely that the sadistic twist will end the game way before natural causes do. Speaking of which, first a quick reminder that if you enjoy the content, supporting me on Patreon is the best way to help me keep making it, and doing so can get you access to exclusives and even early access to the weekly Dev Diary videos before they're released on YouTube. So as is, this would be a pretty true to form memory match game. What makes this version special is a single button that can change this game from a nice cozy experience into a chaotic mess of stress and frustration. By pressing Q or E, the current player in control can queue up a sadistic new function called the roller. The roller does one simple thing: rotate the board. Which direction it rotates depends on the key pressed. Now on its own, it's not too big of a deal. Players with keen eyes can keep track of tiles rotating, but that's usually assuming the player knows when it's coming. It's much harder to anticipate when it's not expected, which is exactly how the roller rolls. That's right, when the board actually rotates is tied to a bunch of different control events, such as when the player chooses a tile, or a match check is done, or even when the player is hovered over the tiles. The chances are all different, but the danger is all the same. Now, I know what you're thinking. For a game that really only requires a mouse, it'd be way too obvious to see when a player is queuing a roll, which is why those sadistic enough to need the chaos can test their luck. By right-clicking, they will add a random direction to the roller's queue, meaning a roll will happen, but which direction is completely random. In other words, this game is basically a cozy little match experience until someone decides it's no longer a cozy little memory match experience. There is no limit to the queue, and on top of that, the queue is read in reverse chronological order, meaning if one player queues a roll and doesn't pay attention to their opponent queuing their own roll, then suddenly they're at a disadvantage. And so, to recap, players not only need to keep an eye on the screen to see reveals and if the board rotates, but also their opponent's hands in real life for any shifty movement. And let me tell you, I thought this was going to be an easy task, but surprise, surprise, the most difficult thing about pulling this off was the math for the grid. Like, getting the grid to properly pivot somehow eluded me, and likely due to overthinking out of like sheer excitement to make this idea a reality. So yeah, the code for this one is not pretty. Although on a more positive note, this project only uses one object and no images for its presentation, which was a fun little creative side challenge. So, you know, what did you think of the twist on an old classic? Could you handle the madness? Or would you even try? I honestly kind of want to release this one, hopefully just to see how people would play it, you know? But anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like. And you know, why not subscribe if you're new to the channel? But that said, brings us to the end of today's Dev Diary, so thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.